What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rescue World podcast. This is a podcast for leaders, dreamers, change makers who are committed to being rescuers in their world. And I have a real life rescuer with me today. My brother, my friend, my guy, Wiley Cortez.
Yo.
A little bit of background about Wiley. Number one, he's from the streets in real life. But really, his story is really inspiring, and we've been friends for a few years now. But co-owner, founder of a construction company up in Seattle, street clothing brand, Make Moves Not Statements, fire clothing brand. Check them out online. You definitely would love their stuff. But just a coach, like literally helping other people like accomplish their dreams and visions. And he's actually been coming alongside us at Rescue Generation for the last several years. We've done some really cool work together, like a Thanksgiving food giveaway at Rubidoux High School.
Yeah,
that was super special, man. And you've been a part of like Manhood Camp and the Takeover. So welcome, Wiley. Thanks for being on the podcast with me today.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. How are you feeling today in real time?
I feel great, man. I feel great to be surrounded by some really cool people. I feel good to be on this podcast. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's up.
It's great. Well, let's start with some easy questions. Fresh off the back end of Manhood Camp. One of the big staple events that we do every year. You've been a part of it. You've been able to see it. You popped in this past one.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Man, it's always incredible. I think I've shared with you and others on the team that it's always something that I never take for granted that you guys do, that Rescue does, because in this particular one, it was a room full of young men that are searching and reaching for God to continue to evolve their life or to change their life. And I remember when you were doing the exhorting, as I got there, how there was a response by the group of young men. And to see that is encouraging for me, just thinking about myself back in the day, where I was at, what I was doing, which wasn't that, and then to see that taking place, man, it was motivating, it was inspiring, and I love to see it.
No, it's great. Yeah, let's talk about you back in the day. And you wasn't at Manhood Camp.
No.
What kind of camp were you at?
No, I was on a gang camp.
Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, where you're from, how life was for you coming up.
Yeah, man. Born and raised Riverside, California, which is about 10 miles west of here, I believe. We're in San Bernardino. And grew up in hard times. My dad worked 2 jobs, so he wasn't really home, and that led me to a life of gang violence, homelessness, drug addiction, womanizing. Just didn't have the idea of what a man should be or a young man should be as I was growing up. And because of that, I fell into a lot of different spaces which weren't like Manhood Camp.
He wasn't at the altar worshiping, guys.
No, I wasn't lifting my hands. I wasn't clapping or praying.
He was worshiping something, though. It just wasn't
we were clapping,
God.
but it wasn't my hands. So it just landed me in different places, like jail, in and out of jail, all through the end of my teens and early 20s. And it was just a life where I didn't know who I was, what I was doing, where I was going, and it sucked. I didn't know that it sucked until I was removed from it, though. Yeah, I didn't know that I was in a place where there was places that were better than where I had experienced, because all I knew was what was around me, the culture around me, the people around me, the things that they were doing. And the other thing that happened that was significant in my life as I was growing up is I had a kid at a very young age. And I say that I didn't know anything else. There was other people having babies like it was just normal at a teen age. And when I stepped out of just Riverside County, if you will, or just out of the city, realized, man, that isn't a very common thing in other places. It was a very common thing where I was at. So it didn't seem like not necessarily a bad thing, because I love my kid and she's a blessing, but just at the time. So that came out, and I didn't realize that until I left that.
Yeah, man, you said a lot in there. But let's talk about the perspective, right? When you're the big dog in a closed circuit like space, right? You had no other context for what was possible, what was available. So you weren't dreaming outside of there.
No.
Give me 15-year-old Wiley's like dream What was the dream as a 15-year-old?
Man, it's almost it's interesting to even think about what that dream was. The dream was to have a house, have a car, get to a higher status in what I was working in. So like the gang life, climb that ladder and be the guy that has product and can move weight and all that, which is interesting, right? As I think about that, I'm like, oh dang, that was my dream.
And it's still a dream.
Yeah,
it's still
it is
a perspective to have, right? It's not like the work we do, that we come across a lot of kids that like that is their like their North Star. That's what they would like to aspire to be. Bag
driven. Like, how can I get my bag as quick as possible and in the easiest way possible? In the hood, it's not going to work to a 9 to 5. It's just not. It just wasn't. Have the cars, have the women, it was something else. So the perspective came from where I was at and who was around me. Is how that was the dream.
And what so I don't imagine the shift of perspective happened in a moment or all at once. What began the shift? Like, what was the first initial, like, okay, I think there's a new leaf starting to turn here? What was that like initial process?
Man, it took me getting in trouble, being in a courthouse, and the judge comes out, brings all the inmates in. I was in a holding facility, brings the inmates in, and she calls me by name. In the moment, by name just really like stood out to me, not realizing she had my jacket there, and she opened it up. It was hey, Wiley Cortez. Well, but she did, and it just stood out to me. And she said, I'll never forget these words. If I see you here again, we're done doing basically county jail. You're going to prison. That scared the hell out of me. It's like, man, only the big dogs and big time go to prison. So I believe that looking back at my life, that was the first step into change in my mind. Like, I have to do something different. I'm not going to end up that way. That led to me almost in parallel. My sister had a job opportunity in Seattle, and I was living with my sister because I had nothing to show for myself. She said, hey, you can come with us or you could stay here, but you can't live here. She sold her house. So I ended up moving to Seattle, and the change continued, but it was a very slow change.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So you get to Seattle, change is starting, but I know your story, so I'm asking questions, but some of this I know the answer to. But got caught up in the same thing, same stuff, which is like a really cool thing to just mention here, because I think so many times we think, man, if I could just get out of my context into another context, then I would be completely different. And you're not, because your perspective is completely the same. So you're probably surrounding by the same people. You're almost attracting those people to you. Tell us about like your change in context or address or location, but not the change in perspective.
It didn't change. And what's interesting, a phrase that I heard from a communicator about 20 years ago, he's like, you can go anywhere in the world, but you're there. And your whole perspective is with you, right? So you are going to find the same group of people doing the same things. That happened to me. It wasn't until we went to a church service, and my wife was radically changed. And in that church, later on in that church service, a man came up to me, a middle-aged white man. I didn't think anything of him. He came up to me and he said, people see how you're leading your family. I did not know what that meant at the time. He said this to me, and he whispered it in my ear, shook my hand, gave me a great big hug. This guy did not look like anybody that I was going to have a relationship with, be friends with, not the type of person that I attract. That led us to exchange numbers, have one coffee. 2 years later, that was the man that ended up shifting. 2 years later is a huge emphasis, because that shift didn't happen like this. It happened meeting once a week, twice a week. If I was going through something, immediately. It was meeting and having him hold me accountable and be present for me, not because he wanted something out of me, because he saw something greater in me than what I had experienced. So that is what was happening for 2 or 3 years roughly in Seattle.
Man, and so weekly meetings, so that happened right as soon as he shook your hand?
We exchanged numbers. We had coffee. And it still was kind of like, man, who is this guy? Bro?
What do you want from me?
I'm like 26,
Not
27.
interested.
Yeah, I'm 26, 27. What am I doing with this guy? What does he want? Like,
and at this time, you're still kind of
I'm still back
out
and
there,
forth, bro. We was partying the night before at the club, shutting it down, waking up early, wiping our eyes, getting into first service or whatever, second service, and it's like he's there. So yeah, we were playing both sides of it. That's what we knew.
Yeah,
we
of
just
course.
felt good on a Sunday doing that or experiencing that, and like, okay. And then some days turn around and just pop a drink right after.
Yeah.
Like go grab dinner or lunch or something and have some drink and do it all over again.
Yeah. So what was the actual like turning point then? The 2-year mark. What was like? Oh, I get it now. This is.
So his name's Bruce, and Bruce.
Shout out to you, Bruce.
Yeah, shout out Bruce, my guy. He continued and he was persistent, but not persistent in a way where he was judging me. He was helping me. And his presence, the way he was with his wife, the way he was with his kids, how they were serving and involved, really stood out to me. Because who doesn't want a wife and kids doing good, serving, going to school, graduating, all the things. During the process of our meetings, it was interesting one time, and it'll tie together with Make Moves Not Statements. So I had been sharing with him my dreams and my vision after all of these different conversations. And it wasn't about until 8 months, 9 months, almost a year later, where he stops me and he says, hey, you've been telling me for a year that you're going to do X, Y, and Z or all of these different things, and you haven't done them.
Dang.
It's time to actually make the move and stop talking. And so that's where the brand came from. But that's where the shift also happened. That shift turned into action as opposed to just verbalizing what it was.
Wow.
And he would check in on me weekly. Okay, you said you were going to do this. Where are you at with that?
So holding you to your commitments.
Holding me. And not in a place of, so if I came back the following week, not in a place of like, well, you said that you were going to do this, that, and the other, and you didn't do it. Where are you at?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, how could we make that happen this week? And to me, that presence that I'm with you, I'm standing with you, I'm not judging you for not getting it done, I want to walk with you and get this done, was more important to me to do what I said I was going to do, or set out to do what I was going to do, as opposed to, man, this dude just over here doing this, that, and the other. He wants something. He wants me to work for him or whatever.
Yeah.
But because he was the way he was with his presence, it really shifted me, and I wanted to do good. It's one of those people that you meet and he's talking with you or sharing with you, and man, I see something in him. When Jose says something to me, I actually want to follow through because of the relationship we have or that we've built.
Yeah.
And the respect that I have for the person, and that's who he was. Wow. And so I started following through from, okay, getting a job. I mean, small things, getting a nicer car. I had a bucket when I moved to Seattle. I mean, moved to Seattle, lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, had a bucket, could barely make it to work. And slowly, I mean, got into a house, got into a car, a nice car. Slowly things started happening. Our marriage started improving. My kid was growing up in a really good neighborhood. You've been to my house. I mean, that
beautiful
neighborhood, yeah. That
with
house,
the lowrider,
yeah, with the lowrider. Yeah, we still go low ride. So it just slowly. That's why things happened over the course of a few years. 2 years of straight mentoring, but 3 years, I would say, we completely. And then 12 years later, Rachel and I look at our lives and can't believe that what seemed simple, it took a lot of work, changed the complete direction of the life that we were living.
And based on your whole like perspective shifted.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward 12 years.
Yeah.
Man, you're here today.
Yeah.
Let's just flex a little bit. Okay. Can we do that for a second?
Yeah.
Let's talk about accomplishments that Wiley has achieved up to this point as of right now.
Yeah.
I'll let you list them.
Yeah.
I can help you if you want me to.
No, one of the most interesting ones that I'm and excited ones that I'm about is I'm excited about is my coaching high performance leaders through vision and clarity to help them step into or further into who they are and called to be. I'm super excited about that because that happened to me.
Yeah,
and
facts.
so that business is currently building and growing, have some clients and do some speaking. So that's one of them. Make Moves, Not Statements, clothing brand, culture, luxury, streetwear, based out of Los Angeles, manufactured, produced. And I'm behind the entire Make Moves process, which is really dope. So I have my hands right in it. In Seattle, I'm a co-owner of a construction company. And I think it's important to say it's not a construction company where it's one or two people. We've had up to 50 different people.
Yeah.
So the leading, the managing, the equipping, the building, all of that has been either by choice or just by default. I've been grown in that or groomed in that. And it's helped me learn a lot about myself, and it's helped me learn a lot about how people or how we operate.
Yeah.
So those are a few things that I have going that
That's great.
And just being involved with nonprofit organizations like
Yeah. Let's talk just a little bit briefly about like your heart to give back, where that come from, because I do feel like there are people that make it out of where we come from that like I ain't giving nothing back, dog. Like it's all mine, and I get to keep it all to myself. I think from day one when we connected, there was just this like synergy and like-mindedness. Yeah. But also like you put some bread up to support the work that was happening. Like there was there was no hesitation on your end. Yeah. And I just had a tremendous amount of respect for just your willingness to be like, no, y'all fly down on my own dime. I'm gonna come check this out. Like,
remember that?
Yeah, I was like, wow, like, yo, he's really in. Like, and so where'd that come from? Why do you got that heart? Because really, that's what the Rescue World podcast is all about. Is those that are really impacting the world beyond, just the job they're working or whatever. But like, where'd that come from?
It came from the lack of, and growing up the way I grew up, and seeing and experiencing kids. So the first time that we talked and got to see what it is that Rescue does, and specifically, I'll keep it a buck, in Riverside. So when I saw that you worked in Riverside, you were in Hooper Valley, you were in Rubidoux. My wife went to Rubidoux, a bunch of family went to Rubidoux. And I was like, man, I want to be a part of that. And then stepping on to a event like the Takeover or Manhood Camp, and how that's being impacted. More recently at a rally that you guys did at Mission Middle School, I saw a lot of little Wileys there, along with people that looked like and acted like Rachel did back in the day too. So it was
a lot of little Wiley and Rachel's out there running around.
A lot of
still
them.
In Hoopa Valley.
Still in the IE. And to see what Rag was doing in those spaces with the people that used to be like me, there was no way that we couldn't get involved. And I remember when I first met you, I told Rachel about it, or I was sharing with Rachel about what this was. And she's like, wow, they're in Riverside, that's dope. And then when we met you and Erica, it was like, oh man, it's over. Like we're good. And the biggest thing you mentioned it, the giveaway that we did at Rubidoux High School was so fulfilling. And that fulfilling feeling that I get or experience that I get is why we give back. To summarize all that up, to give back to the people, to our people, to the people that were struggling or that are struggling, where you could say, man, I've made it to a certain degree, right? Where I can extend a hand, whether it's a hand to pull somebody up or here's a meal on me. And that's why it's that's why we give back.
Yeah, no, that's gold. Thanks for that, and obviously thanks for giving back.
Yeah,
No, I got a tremendous amount of love and respect for you and Rachel, and your heart for SoCal.
Yeah,
you don't even live here.
Yeah,
and y'all have been so invested in like what's happening here, and so just that's really dope. I want to shift a little bit into leadership.
Yeah,
I just think this is a fun conversation to have. Wiley is a leader in a lot of different venues, hats, varieties. Coach, so you're leading people that way. You're a pastor at a church, so you got some leadership responsibilities there. You are also a co-owner of a construction company.
Right.
You got a whole like team of people underneath you. What's been like the hardest leadership lesson? It took a while for you to get it, but then when you got it, it just started to
There's two.
Okay.
One is listening. Like actively listening when you're having a conversation with anybody, but specifically, and I'm thinking about Prycor, my construction company, listening to what is being said when you're having the conversation. That has opened up so many opportunities for not only relationship, but company growth in our company, as well as feedback.
Okay.
Feedback was really tough for me to learn, to learn and experience, and not take it personal or as an attack when somebody is sharing something about you or their experience of you. And the feedback piece is, I always have to think, even to this moment, I have to think like that is just a moment that they experience you. That's not your whole. And what I was taking it is when I first learned about that, or when I would first open my eyes and brain to that feedback process, was that it is a moment of experience. It's not your whole life experience. And I was taking it as, you're attacking my character right now by telling me that. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
But in that conversation that we had, we may have been, or I may have been like that. So those are two things: listening well with no intention behind what it is that you're listening to, and then feedback. Feedback has been tremendous in my leadership development with my teams, with whoever I talk with, really in relationship with my wife. I mean, it's helped.
Yeah. That's good. I want to kind of zone in on both of those for a second, because I think that we can probably extract quite a bit of gold from this. Why was listening so hard for you?
Because I was in a hurry to do what I wanted to do.
Okay.
With what we had to do, because I felt like I know how this goes.
Yeah.
Again, just thinking about my construction company, I know how this goes. I know what we need to do. I don't need to hear what you need to say.
Right.
Let's just go.
Yep.
And what I found out is sometimes I didn't know. Jose has a different thought. You know, I could name off people on our team that have different thoughts that actually helped us and propelled us to do more and better because of them sharing.
Wow. Ooh, that's powerful. Because like even how listening well to the people around you can shift your own perspective.
Yeah, sure can.
Like grow your vision, make things better, faster, stronger than what you could do just in your own like isolated. And you know, you're a high performer by yourself, you know what I mean? So like I don't doubt that you could get things done across the board, right? But just that act of listening, being able to like let people in.
Yeah.
What has that produced in the people around you?
It's produced, and we have a coach right now at Prycor. Shout out to
me. Shout out to your boy.
But one of the things that we're talking about and that it produced is trust. When you listen to somebody, it creates trust. And one of the recent things that we've been talking about, because if there isn't trust, there's suspicion. So, and I don't want anybody to be suspicious about what we're doing, what we're up to, how we're doing it, why we're doing it. So there's a lot of that's opened up in conversation. So trust has been built through the company, and I believe that trust has organically created a level of culture. And again, I can't emphasize this enough: the growth that the company experienced with that, and not all monetary growth. It's not all about growing the revenue and the profits and all that, but growth as people too. Yeah, having conversations with each other, trusting that what I'm saying is what I mean. Yeah, and not. It's not like there's not a hidden agenda behind what I'm saying to you, because I trust you. Yeah. So that would be something that has created.
Yeah, I love that, man. When you're willing to just sit long enough and suspend your own agenda and like actually listen, it opens up space for trust to be alive and well, and for you to actually hear people, for your perspective to grow, so that we can ultimately accomplish the vision that we're trying to accomplish. So I think that's super powerful. Let's go to the feedback side of things, because I
don't want to do that.
Wiley, I am experiencing you at. I was just kidding. All right, Wiley. What first experience of feedback that you remember that was kind of like that gut punch? Like, what
why
was
you taking
that?
me there,
I want to go there because I want to get like real. Like, what was that, and what came up in there? I can tell you mine. Yeah. Like I'll tell you mine first. That way, just so you're not out there on an island by yourself. I I remember, well, you know, I'll tell you one that I didn't like. It's easy to tell the one that like really propelled me to grow. Mm-hmm. There was one that I did not like, and it was feedback. And I was like, I got to try this on. And like, at the end of this 4-day training that we both went through, the very end, we're done.
Yeah.
Like we're in the car, almost in the car.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, this guy comes up to me and he says, you know, Jose, he said, before you came through this 4-day training, he said, I actually did not think you would ever rescue a generation.
Wow.
He said, I just think you were going to reach a lot of kids.
Wow.
And bro, I like everything in me like started to rise up. Like, bro, you don't know me. Yeah. Like all the like
who you talking to?
Exactly. like could have just squared up with him in the parking lot. You know, I ain't been saved all my life. It might come out, you know, one day. You know, so like literally like, and I was taken back by it.
Yeah.
And we had just learned about feedback, so I was like, okay, like, cool, thank you for sharing or whatever. Like, I didn't want to think, but I was like, all right, here we go. Bro, I kid you not, he was not wrong.
Yeah.
We were on a trajectory to just reach a lot of kids.
Wow.
And that statement, as much as I hated it, I would say propelled me to say, what does it really mean to rescue a generation?
Right.
And how do we do that?
Right.
Because like that's what we're actually up to here.
Yeah.
And I think it added a lot of value to where we are today, and the amount of impact we're making. So that was mine that I just hated, and I could have squared up with the dude the whole 9 yards. You know, so.
I wish I could have squared up with wives. No, I would have been. Man, mine was. I didn't have any idea of what feedback was. I've always heard of when you hear feedback, if you don't know this type of work, it's like criticism. One of my employees uses the word criticism or what good
constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism is what he says. Yeah, and so I had this conversation, and it came down to negotiation of money, and I thought I verbally said something that was clear, and apparently it wasn't. And so the person that I was having the conversation with, we hung up the phone. We were done with the conversation. I told her I was going to follow up, so I followed up. I let her know. Well, before we had that conversation, she expressed to me how she felt in that conversation. And let me tell you what, man, it was everything. It was the opposite of everything that I am committed to being. She said she felt attacked. She felt scared. She felt, I can't even list all the emotions that she experienced.
She had a laundry list.
Yeah, she had a list. And as she's telling me, if any of y'all ever meet me, I mean, I'm chest up, head out, shoulder. I mean, we're moving. As she was telling me, and this was over the phone, my chest is caving in, my shoulders are going down, my head is dropping, because she is basically having me fold.
Wow.
And I didn't understand that. And even on the call, we made amends. It was cool. We had a good conversation. But I left that call really checking myself. Who am I and what am I really committed to? What am I doing? Because my goal is never to have anybody experience me like that.
Yeah.
And so when that took place, she may have not even known that she was doing this, or she may have. She may have known she was doing it. Yeah, she knew. So it was just a deep reflection of myself.
Yeah.
Am I really committed to being who I say I am committed to being? And that had me think for a long time. I think I may have even called you after that.
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. And so that was my first experience of feedback. Now, I have had other experiences where I have felt like, are you rescuing a generation or just reaching a bunch of kids?
Yeah.
I've had similar experiences where I've been called out, like, where you at, Wiley? What are you doing? But all to pull who Wiley really is out of me as opposed to hold them down. And the people that are around me that I have experienced that with is how my mind shifted that is what they see. They see greater. Yeah. They see bigger. They see the vision that I might not even see for myself with their experience of me. And so what that does for me is it encourages me and really stand on the commitment of presencing who I'm going to be or who I'm committed to being with whoever I'm around.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good. This is not like a feedback episode or anything, but it's good. My brain is going, how did that one feedback that you got that just kind of had you folding How did that shape your perspective? What did that do for you afterwards?
Well, first I was fighting the whole thing. Even when we made amends, we were cool. Thank you. This worked out. I actually joined the program. I went through the program, but there was something that I was wrestling with before I got to the shift. That I wouldn't accept the fact that she experienced me that way.
Okay.
I just couldn't, because I didn't feel like I went there.
Yeah, great.
Like, you want to be scared, you're going to be in person with me. You're going to be scared. Like, we're going to go there. And it wasn't until part of feedback is trying it on. Hey, this is just my experience of you. Try it on.
Yeah.
See how it fits. I tried it on, and after replaying that conversation in my head, there was reason for her to believe that, or there was reason for her to feel the way she felt.
Okay.
And so when I accepted that, I just recommitted myself. Okay, that's not the experience that I want people to have.
Yeah.
So there's a shift there of recommitting myself to the experience that I want people
great.
to have. So that shifted. And was it right away? No, I think it happened in steps or in moments. It didn't happen right away. And I'm still keeping it 100, bro. I'm still like, some of the feedback, I'm like, yo,
that don't apply here.
Yeah, that doesn't apply. But yeah, and it's just good to be aware that is, sometimes people share with you how you are with them.
Yeah.
And they don't even realize that they're giving you that feedback, but it kind of re-anchors you in, okay, well, what are you committed to being and doing and seeing? So I would say that too.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So, I mean, when I think about like, people like us that come from, rough backgrounds, that like, sometimes it is those hard moments of feedback that could like potentially get you to the next level of growth and like, elevation and who you're committed to being. You reference that a lot, like this isn't who I'm committed to being. Who is Wiley committed to being? Like, think nowadays, today, right now, I know where you came from. I know your journey, success journey. Who's Wiley committed to being?
First thing that comes up, man, is so when we first started coaching, when you started coaching our team, you had us pick one word. And I don't know if you remember, but I buckled. I didn't have a word.
I remember.
And we had a conversation. You were like, and you said, man, I was surprised. You've been through this training. How do you not have a word, bro? Like, what the heck? So I was thinking about that. And that following week for our next coaching session, I did come with a word. And it's a word that, like, in me, like, just sat. And it was to empower. And so what I'm committed to being is to empower people around me to be and step into the vision and purpose that they have. We all have one, and if there's something that I could do to help that, whether it's by keeping you accountable or calling you out to whatever it is that you're doing, I want to be that person.
Yeah.
And I'm committed to being that person, to stand with you, alongside with you, and walk with you. And I believe that my construction company is a testimony to that.
Yeah.
Standing with the people through what they're going through and the success that we're experiencing as well.
Yeah. No, that's good. I love that empowered word. Where does that take you futuristically? What is like life in Wiley in the next 5 to 10 years look like if you're fully living out empowerment, like on all levels?
Yeah. Man, thinking about that, that's a question that I haven't thought of. Taking me in 5 years, man, continued success in everything that I'm doing. My businesses all revolve around people. Obviously, my marriage, empowering my wife to be everything she can, my kid, the people around me, and I think that will just elevate, or I believe that will just elevate me as a person alongside all of those different people in my life.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes in the world, I've probably said this for like 20 years now, but you'll never exhaust your potential for success by helping other people succeed.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, the more you empower those around you, the more like you're going to automatically be there. In fact, I had this guy worked in like the high rises in New York for a while. I was a senior in high school, and he told me his leadership, like his success secret.
Yeah.
And he said most people see leadership as a pyramid. Like, you got the leader on top, everybody under, everybody under, everybody under, down to the janitor.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've taken that pyramid and flipped it upside down.
Yeah.
where he said, if I can commit to making everybody who's technically under me look like rock stars,
right?
He said, I don't have to be the greatest. Like, I'm going to automatically look like the greatest because of how I produce the leaders underneath me.
Yeah.
And so I just think about that a lot with what you just shared. Like, man, if Wiley spends the next 5 years empowering everybody around him, everybody's gonna get better. Everybody's gonna eat.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna make moves, not statements.
Yeah,
like, you know,
right.
like
it reminds me of the Magic Johnsons and the Michael Jordans. And I talk with my team about these two teams, the championship teams. The point guard made those teams better. They may have not have had the best supporting cast, but because of their leadership, it made the people around them grow. And the growth equals success. And in basketball, you know, the success is championships. So Michael Jordan, how he took the team, he didn't have the all-star team like the superstar teams that we have now that we build. Those guys took what they had and built them to success. Made them look like rock stars.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson and what he did, Michael Jordan, what he did, and several others have done the same thing. But seeing that and what that could create, he empowered the people and drew them out for their skills, talents, and values that they had, and they won.
Yeah.
And business isn't all about winning, but when somebody feels empowered or experiences empowerment, they do the best that they can because of who they are.
It's good.
Not because of who's leading them. But who's leading them is also a huge part in that.
I would love to just real quick, if I could even go backwards. What did you wish you had earlier on? Like, don't get me wrong. I think where you come is you could be super grateful. Yeah. But man, if you could go back to like 17-year-old Wiley, what do you wish you had as a young man that like could have shifted things a whole lot earlier?
I wish I would have had a Bruce a lot sooner in my life. Somebody,
like, hello.
Somebody that saw me not for what I had been through, but my potential. The potential that I have, that all of us have. And when somebody comes to you and sees that, and not only says a few kind words to you, but also sees that through, walks that out, that's what I wish I would have had. Because and I don't wish that I was anywhere else, because I think this is my story and I am where I need to be for the people around me and for myself. But I often think, man, if I would have met a Bruce at 17, where the heck would I be right now? Right? Because that man, what he did in my life and shifted my thinking, changed everything moving forward. And that's what I would say to that.
Wow, that's powerful. Shoot, I'm gonna coin that for our training here at RAG. Become a Bruce. Have a picture of a middle-aged white guy like plastered on our wall here. Like, hey, Eric gets to become Bruce today. Like, come on, Eric. Like, No, thanks for that. As we just start to like wind down a little bit, what does it mean to be like a part of the rescue world for you? Like, what's been your experience of just like being around us, the work we do? You're a part of this. I feel like you've taken some real ownership. You've brought us up to do some fundraisers up there. Like, I mean, Wiley's been like, I'm all in here. What does that mean to be a part of the rescue world for you?
Man, to me, walking alongside of the work that Rescue Generation is doing is an honor. Because, and I mentioned it earlier, because of the work that you're doing and who you're impacting, the lives that you're impacting. To me, man, I can't even think of what words to use. But even if it was just one, and I think I mentioned this in a meeting we had, even if, like, so you have the assemblies, you get 1,500 kids or 2,000 kids, however many kids it is, if even one just shifts with a story from one of the speakers or a game that they played, that is why. Because every single one kid or student is worth being rescued in the space that we work in, right? The urban community. There's a lot of need in those spaces. there's a lot of everything in those spaces: identity issues, homelessness, fatherlessness, all of the things, abuse, all of the things that you could think of. They need people like the people at RAG, at Rescue a Generation. And for my wife and for Rachel and I, it was an easy decision to partner because of the work that is being done. And we're here, man. We're here to do it. We're here to continue to walk alongside of you guys and see this thing through.
Yeah, it's funny because I hear you saying, like, man, they need RAG, they need the people that work here, and I just keep thinking, no, like, yeah, they need Wiley and Rachel.
Right.
And you guys are part of that by being a part of the rescue world here. And again, thank you for just all the ways that you guys have championed the work we do. Like, that's been really incredible. If there's one thing you could leave with the listeners out there on how to make moves, not statements, like how to go live the life they're called to live, be the change maker, dreamer, visionary they're called to be. What's that one thing you would leave them with?
Think about what your vision is for your life. See that through and presence that. Presence that with everybody that's around you. Whether it's a conversation like this, friends, family, presence what that vision is. That vision is going to be seen by everybody that you're around. And that's what I would encourage everybody to do.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of potential with no vision.
Yeah.
And if you could just hone in on one of those things, it would shift a lot. You'd get a lot of momentum in life. And so I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thanks for being on the pod.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
Find me on any social platform, anywhere. Type in my name on a search engine, WileyCortez.com, or Make Moves Not Statements for the
Google
merch.
me.
Yeah, Google me, search engine, not just Google. OpenAI works too, everything.
That's awesome. Great. Well, thanks.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
absolutely.
for those listening, please like, subscribe, join us. Really appreciate you being on this rescue world journey. Shout out to all you rescuers out there. Talk to you next time.